Hey guys, Phil here, Doctor of Physical Therapy. So today we are going to talk about pain at the bottom of your foot when playing pickleball. This is often known as plantar fasciitis. It is one of the most common injuries that can occur, especially when you're on your feet for a long time. Pickleball is super fun, and a lot of times because of the hard court, our feet may get tired over time. And what can happen over time is the bottom of your feet can get sore from too much pressure and too much load. So there's this tissue at the bottom of your foot called the plantar fascia. It's just a piece of tissue that is there designed to absorb shock. So every time you take a step, your arch collapses and some of that force is transferred into your plantar fascia. Sometimes this tissue can get irritated over time, and this is often due to an increase in loading into the area. So basically, when you're doing too much, when you're on your feet all day, this tissue can get inflamed. And when that happens, it can be painful to walk around. Your foot might be really sore first thing in the morning getting out of bed. It's one of the classic symptoms of plantar fasciitis. Honestly, plantar fasciitis is one of the toughest and one of the most frustrating conditions to deal with because it can honestly last for a long time. Looking in the literature, it says it can last from 3 months all the way to a year and beyond. As humans, we're always on our feet. You can't just offload and not do anything and just wait for weeks on end for it to heal. So it ends up being something that you have to manage. So now that we know what plantar fasciitis is, we have to talk about how to manage it and how to prevent it. First up, we have to talk about footwear. When playing pickleball, you're standing on a hard surface, a hard court with not a lot of give. So you want to have the proper footwear. As a physical therapist, I always see people wearing regular sneakers or running shoes, which may not be the best for something like pickleball. Traditional running shoes or sneakers have a high stack height, which means you are elevated from the ground, because with something like running, you're designed to go forward and take thousands of steps. So you need a lot of cushioning to withstand all that impact. But for pickleball, you're going side to side, you're changing directions, you're turning, you're lunging. And what can often happen is if you are too high away from the ground, it can lead to some instability at your ankles. So it's easier for you to roll an ankle or something like that if you're wearing running shoes for pickleball. So my recommendation is looking at something that's comfortable for you, that is designed for hard courts. So something like tennis shoes or dedicated pickleball shoes, or even some type of cross trainers are really good because they're designed to go side to side. When in doubt, go into a store and try out what's comfortable. Next, load management. So we know the root cause of plantar fasciitis or foot pain is due to load, aka you've put too much weight and load through your feet. So what we have to do, unfortunately, is to manage how much time you're spending on your feet. So it's very important for you to take breaks, monitor your symptoms, and not just go ahead and play for 5 hours straight at a time. This could be as simple as playing every other match or setting a time limit so that you don't overstress your feet. You want to make sure that your symptoms are below, say, a 3 or 4 out of 10 on a pain scale. Think of it like a bruise. If something's inflamed, you don't want to keep poking a bruise. It's just going to delay the healing and inflame it more. So if it hurts to walk and if it's like really painful, you probably want to avoid too much activity temporarily, just to let things calm down first. So for plantar fasciitis, I like to look at how do you feel during the activity, how do you feel immediately after activity, and how do you feel the next day. Say after a pickleball session, the next day you wake up and you are limping around, every step hurts. That's your body telling you you've overdone it. So be smart, listen to your body, don't poke your bruise. Next, we're gonna talk about foot strengthening. In general, nowadays people spend a lot of time in shoes. And what happens is if you spend too much time in shoes, your feet never get the strengthening that they need to be able to get stronger and tolerate more loads. So these are called intrinsic foot exercises. What that means is, so you have all these tiny muscles in your foot that are sometimes neglected, and by strengthening your arch and your foot muscles, you can often build up more capacity to tolerate more walking and more movement. It never hurts to build stronger foot muscles. First up, we have the arch lifts. I am lifting my arch. So this is your arch right here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm almost like rolling my knee out and I'm scrunching up right at this inner foot area. without too much toe curling, right? So you want to keep this big knuckle down right here, and it's going to look like that. So you see I am rolling out slightly and scrunching. Next, what you want to do is what's called toe yoga. So what this looks like is you are lifting your big toe, and what that's going to do is stretch out the bottom portion of your foot, and you're going to press down and lift the other 4 toes up. So big toe up, big toe down, other 4 toes up. At first this might be super hard if you're not used to moving your toes, but over time you should build that muscle mind connection and get better at it. And another good one is just balancing. And what you want to do is avoid too much gripping out of your toes, and you want to keep the big knuckle down. And just by standing here, you should feel all kinds of tension throughout your ankle and foot. All these little balance muscles should be turning on. And if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can do some hinging, kind of reaching down while maintaining that balance. Next, you want to do some calf raises. So you can hold on to something sturdy like a countertop or the wall. You can go straight up and down. 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down, relax those toes. And to progress this, you can fold up a towel, something like this. So just roll up a towel, right? You're gonna put your toes on top of the towel, and you're gonna go up and down. This will help stretch out that plantar fascia a little bit more, and more specifically strengthen the area. And you can progress this by doing 2 up, 1 down. If you want to strengthen the one side a little bit more. And if that's easy, you can just do the single leg heel raise. Not only do you want to strengthen your foot muscles, you also want to incorporate some stretching. So the first one is a calf stretch. So you want to hold on to the wall or a countertop or something sturdy. Keep your back leg straight and your front leg bent. And you're going to put some pressure through the heel of your back leg. And you're just going to hold, lean forward and hold that stretch. And then next, we're going to show you a self plantar fascia stretch. So basically, you're going to be sitting, cross your leg, and I want you to pull your toes up. Actually, when I pull my toes up, I am stretching the tissues through here. This is really helpful to loosen some of that tension at the bottom of your foot. So just up and down, just like that. Get your toes to stretch. You can also do some self-massage area with a pickleball or a lacrosse ball, just to kind of loosen some of that tightness in your foot, especially after playing for a long time. The best thing to use is a lacrosse ball, but if you don't have that, you can also use a pickleball that's been cracked so you don't ruin your good pickleballs. Just make sure that the pickleball doesn't have any crazy cracks so you don't hurt your foot when you step on it. So what this looks like is you're going to put it on the ground and just gonna roll it around. So this is great after long sessions if your foot is feeling tight. And same thing with the pickleball. It works very well. So that's a very good recovery strategy. I hope you learned something from this video, and take care.